There comes a moment after 70, maybe it happens when you're sitting alone with your morning coffee. Or perhaps it strikes you in the middle of a conversation you never wanted to have, when you realize something profound. You're tired. Not the kind of tired that a nap can fix, but a deep, soul-level exhaustion from spending your whole life being warm when you didn't feel like it, saying yes when you meant no, and putting everyone else's comf on them, I want to talk to you today about something that might sound harsh at first, but stick with me. It's about learning to live coldly after 70. Now, before you bristle at that word, let me explain what I don't mean. I'm not talking about becoming cruel or uncaring. I'm talking about the kind of quiet strength that comes from knowing exactly where to spend your limited warmth and having the courage to say no more to everything else. Think of it like this. When you were younger, you might have been like a roaring fireplace, keeping everyone warm, burning yourself up to make others comfortable. But now it's time to be like the winter sun, still bright, still beautiful, but selective with your warmth, conserving your energy, shining where it matters most. In this video, we'll explore 6 powerful reasons why embracing this cold approach to life after 70 can bring you more peace and strength than you ever imagined possible. And we'll start with what might be the most important reason of all. Your energy is finite and precious. Do you remember how, in your 40s or 50s, you could push through exhaustion? You'd work all day, attend that evening event you didn't really want to go to, maybe even stay up late finishing chores? At 70 plus, that kind of recovery simply doesn't happen anymore. Each yes you give to something that drains you is a no to something that could actually nourish your soul. My friend Margaret learned this the hard way. At 72, she was still organizing every family gathering, baking for church events, and babysitting her great-grandchildren 3 times a week until one day she collapsed from sheer exhaustion. When she woke up in the hospital, her doctor said something that changed her life. "Margaret, your battery doesn't recharge like it used to. Stop letting other people drain you dry." Here's the truth they don't tell you about aging. Your energy account has limited funds now, and every withdrawal matters more than ever. That phone call with the neighbor who only complains, it's not just 20 minutes of your time, it's 20 minutes of your life force. The committee meeting you attend out of obligation, that's energy you'll never get back. Try this today. For 1 week, keep an energy ledger. Every evening, write down what drained you and what replenished you. You'll quickly see where you're making withdrawals without any deposits. Not everyone deserves your warmth. This next point might sting a little, but it's important. Just because someone has been in your life for decades doesn't mean they've earned the right to your emotional warmth. That cousin who always leaves you feeling drained after visits, the old friend who only calls to vent about their problems, the adult child who treats your home like a hotel. After 70, you get to be selective. You get to love people from whatever distance keeps your spirit intact. I'll never forget what my grandfather told me on his 80th birthday. When I asked why he seemed so much happier in recent years, he smiled and said, "I finally gave myself permission to enjoy people in small doses." He still saw his difficult brother, but for lunch, not for weekends. He still answered the phone for his dramatic neighbor, but only once a week, not every day. Here's a simple rule to try. Before any interaction, ask yourself, does this person leave me feeling lighter or heavier? If it's the latter, it's okay to love them coldly from across the room or across town. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but isn't this selfish? We'll tackle that question head on in just a moment when we explore how living coldly actually makes you more present and loving for the people who truly matter. You know, there's a certain kind of freedom that comes with age, if we allow it. It's the freedom to stop performing, to stop pretending, to stop pouring your energy into things that don't serve you. And yet, so many of us still hold back. We worry, what will people think? Will they call me selfish? Will they stop loving me? But here's what I've learned, and what science confirms: living coldly in the ways that matter isn't just good for your peace of mind. It's necessary for your health, your happiness, and even your longevity. Let's continue with 2 more reasons why this shift isn't just wise. It's urgent. 3. Drama shortens your lifespan. Think about the last time you got caught up in someone else's crisis. Maybe it was a family argument that had nothing to do with you, or a friend's never-ending complaints about their health, their kids, their neighbors. How did your body feel afterward? If you're like most people, your heart raced, your muscles tensed. Maybe you even lost sleep over it. Here's the hard truth. Stress doesn't just feel bad, it ages you. Studies show that chronic stress shortens telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA, weakens your immune system, and even increases your risk of heart disease. And after 70, your body doesn't bounce back like it used to. My neighbor, Helen, used to be a family peacekeeper. Every sibling feud, every grandchild's drama, she'd jump in to mediate, even when it left her exhausted and anxious. Then, at 76, she had a wake-up call. Her doctor told her that her blood pressure was dangerously high, and if she didn't reduce stress, she was risking a stroke. So Helen made a rule: no more emergencies that aren't hers. She didn't stop caring. She just stopped carrying what wasn't hers to hold. And within months, her blood pressure dropped. She slept better. She even said her arthritis pain lessened. Your turn. The next time someone tries to pull you into their storm, ask yourself, is this my battle? If not, step back. Let the wind blow without you. 4. Cold clarity reveals true love. This one might surprise you, but it's one of the most beautiful lessons I've learned. When you stop overgiving, you discover who truly loves you, not just what you can do for them. Think about it. How many relationships in your life are built on obligation rather than joy? How many people only call when they need something? How many people only call when they need something? How many would still show up if you had nothing left to give? I'll never forget what happened when my friend Robert decided to stop hosting Thanksgiving. For decades, he and his wife had cooked for 20-plus people, stressing for weeks to make everything perfect. Then, after his wife passed, he just stopped. He told the family, "This year, I'm ordering pizza and watching old movies. You're welcome to join me, but I'm not cooking." Asterisk. Guess what? Half the family didn't come. But the ones who did, those were the people who truly loved him, not his turkey, not his clean house, him. And those relationships grew deeper than ever. Try this star for 1 month. Stop initiating contact with people who only reach out when they need something. See who notices. See who checks in just because. Those are your real tribe. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but what about family? What about duty? That's exactly what we'll explore next. How living coldly doesn't mean abandoning love. It means loving smarter. There's a quiet wisdom that settles into your bones after 70 if you let it. It whispers, you've earned the right to stop explaining, stop justifying, stop bending yourself into shapes that no longer fit. And yet so many of us still hesitate. We think, if I'm not needed, will I be forgotten? If I'm not useful, will I still matter? Asterisk. But here's the truth. The most profound chapters of your life aren't about what you do for others. They're about who you become when you finally stop wearing yourself thin. Let's finish with the last 2 reasons to embrace this cold wisdom, and why they might just lead you to your most joyful years yet. 5. Winter prepares for spring. Nature knows something we often forget. There's power in stillness. Trees don't fight the cold. They let go of their leaves, conserve their energy, and wait patiently for their moment to bloom again. And after 70, you're in your winter season, not an ending, a necessary pause. For years, my friend Evelyn felt guilty for saying no to volunteering, no to babysitting, no to anything that drained her. Then at 78, she finally gave herself permission to rest. And something miraculous happened. She started painting, not for shows or sales, just for the joy of it. Now, at 83, she says those quiet years were the most creative of her life. Your turn. What's waiting to emerge in you when you stop pouring energy into what doesn't matter? A forgotten hobby? A new curiosity? Maybe just the simple pleasure of sitting still without guilt? Try this. For 1 week, replace I should with I wonder and see what happens. 6. Death teaches boldness. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. At our age, we're closer to the end than the beginning, and that's exactly why living coldly isn't just smart, it's sacred. Think of the last funeral you attended. Did anyone say, she always kept her house so clean, or he never missed a committee meeting? Of course not. They talked about asterisk laughter, love, the way someone made them feel. Asterisk. My father, in his final months, told me something I'll never forget. Asterisk. All those years I wasted worrying what people thought, and now? None of it matters. Only the love does. Asterisk. Here's your challenge, asterisk. Write down 3 things you'd regret not doing if today were your last. Now, how many of them are being crowded out by things that don't matter? Closing thoughts. When we started this conversation, we talked about living coldly, but what we've really been talking about is living authentically. It's not about shutting people out. It's about finally letting yourself in. So start small. Say no to one thing this week that drains you. Hang up the phone when the conversation turns toxic. Leave the dishes in the sink to watch the sunset. Each time you do, you're not being selfish, you're practicing sacred self-preservation. And to those who don't understand, let them call you cold. You and I will know the truth. You're not ice, you're a flame, learning to burn at your own pace. Before you go, if this resonated with you, do two things for me. 1. Hit that subscribe button, because this channel is all about helping you live these years with strength, peace, and joy. New videos every week to inspire your next chapter. 2. Leave a comment below with one thing you're giving yourself permission to stop caring about. Let's create a wave of freedom together. Remember, winter doesn't last forever, but the wisdom it brings does. Here's to your most unapologetically authentic season yet.